Thank you, Max, for that marvelous introduction. Sisters, it is time. We are here today on assigned seating to discuss. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It's a cult classic, an amazing piece of film, and I have some amazing ladies here to share it with me. Blow me, I have Sister Brooke from Australia, and to my right, your left, wherever you're watching, the vivacious Lady Vera here to join me. But we are here. We are ready to discuss. Ooh! Vera's got friends. We all need a familiar for this one because we are going back to 1993. Hello, Miss Anne. She's joined us. Hey. So we are going all the way back to 1993, a lifetime ago for some of us, Ellie. And we are discussing, as I said, a cult classic, a kids movie that has rapidly become, something that is much loved, especially around this time of the year. We are discussing Hocus Pocus. Yes, that's right. Starring the one and only Ms. Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy the Jimmy, Omri Katz, Thora Birch, and Vanessa Shaw. Now, I don't even know where to begin. I do. When was the first time that we have seen this movie, starting with the lovely Brooke? When do you remember seeing this movie first?
Oh gosh, look, I saw it. I remember sitting in a lounge. I can't tell you how old I was. I've got to be honest. But I was sitting in the lounge room with my dad, and he quite quickly told me it was shit. Um, but I loved it. I loved it. I saw it as a kid. So look, I would have been maybe about 11-ish, kind of 12-ish area. But yeah, I love this movie so much. So much.
Beautiful. Vera, you've had the unique experience of seeing this as an adult.
I did. I was just a smidge older. I think I was 22 when it came out.
Oh,
I
wow.
did not see it in theaters, though. I didn't see it until it came on HBO, so it was probably 24.
Well, there you go.
And the first time I saw it, I was a smidge scared.
Well, you are not the best horror movie person, are you?
I'm not, but I love this movie.
I know. So I remember, this is a childhood movie that I definitely remember being on high rotation. Hello, Jodie. Thanks for joining. This one I remember seeing, and this one's a little bit special because, as I've said on other movie shows, my parents are big Bette Midler fans, huge. So I had seen pretty much everything she'd done, and this movie was kind of the first movie that was mine of hers, if you get what I mean. Like it had come out in my time. It was a movie aimed for kids, and she's fantastic in it. Let's not pretend that she isn't. But I remember this one being on home video and a constant rental. This movie has never actually left my life since it came in. I definitely watch it at least once a year. This is definite Halloween viewing.
I would say
every
at this
year.
point, I watch it 2 or 3 times a year.
I was going to say, it's a staple in our house.
Yeah.
It has that comfort blanket viewing kind of thing, doesn't it? You're like, oh, I know. Even from the opening titles, like it's just all of this is just the book and that yellow like gold writing. I go, I did it last night when I sat down to watch it. I put on Disney Plus and I came out and I went, I exhaled into the lounge. I was like, oh, okay, that's I like that. I think that's cool that your body even remembers stuff like that. You go, I know this. I know what this feeling is.
It's a visceral reaction.
Yeah. I have this movie on DVD and Blu-ray somewhere amongst my things and on Disney Plus, so I definitely have this movie. it's yeah, it's in the zeitgeist, but yeah, definitely this one is essential October viewing or September October
Yes.
viewing. It's good. I think especially for kids. There's so much designed for, the teen/adult market around that time of the year. It's good that they have this and it's not just it's multi-generational now.
Yeah.
Especially with the new one days away. Who knew? Who knew? Days away from
I
releasing.
know. I can't wait.
I know. We'll talk more about it at the end, but we're just gonna have a little trip down memory lane and talk about the best parts of this film. If you're watching, please feel free to join in and share your opinions. I'm gonna say if you haven't seen Hocus Pocus, the 1992 original, please
You gotta
pause the
see it.
podcast and come back. But you should have seen it by now, guys.
It's
Like
a good one.
it's
If you
literally nearly
haven't
30
seen it,
years
then we
ago.
can't be friends.
So
You
we
can't see
open
it.
on we open on October the 31st, 1693 in Salem, Massachusetts, where
When
one
Vera was
young
born.
low blows
Yes.
there.
Yes.
One young master Thackeray Biggs.
I think I was in high school.
I love you, Vera.
He arises from his slumber to find his young sister missing. His young sister Emily missing and descending into the woods where the witches who live on the outskirts of town are conjuring. Very kind of creepy and episode like very epic like beginning. You can tell that
Yes.
Disney threw some money on it because they made a whole village for an aerial shot to like Salem don't look like that nowadays, kids.
No, it doesn't.
But they made that whole village much like the TV show Salem, which was a little bit different to this. I wouldn't suggest the crossover unless you're an adult. They made this whole village, and it was very very cute. Now this is Thackeray Biggs. Now we have the first controversy of the film. A lot of people think his name is Zachary,
Oh,
Yes.
but it is with a Z or a Z, but it is TH. Thackeray Biggs. Very ye olde
Very
Englishy
ye olde.
name. Very ye olde Englishy.
I want the backstory on the friend he's sleeping with when he wakes up and realizes his sister's gone.
They're not in the same bed. They're not in the same bed, Vera. It's his next door neighbor.
this is why I love you, Vera.
Vera's doing some kind of.
It's like, wow. I'm pretty sure that's not a kid's movie. It's not a movie I'd want my kids to watch. Throwing it out there. Behind the
So this-
scenes. Literally. Sorry.
This is where we first come across the dreaded Sanderson sisters.
Yes.
Winifred, Sarah, and Mary are three old spinsters spending a quiet night at home, sucking the lives out of the children of Salem, as they so eloquently put it.
How do we know they're spinsters?
Well, that's what they say. That's
Yeah,
what they
that's
call
true.
themselves. They call themselves spinsters, so we will
Oh,
go with
okay.
that. And they abduct, as we said. Poor Emily is coaxed. We find ourselves
Yes.
finding out later on.
Wasn't she bewitched?
Coax.
Isn't she under that little song?
She is
spell of
bewitched. She has,
Sarah's?
which we find out later.
Yeah.
Sarah's got the pipes, which is funny because she's not the singer, but she was Annie on Broadway, so she got to be able to
She
sing.
was, and she was also
She was.
Princess Winifred.
So they are here to suck the life out of the children of Salem to make themselves young and beautiful again. As we see, they are removing the essence here from young Emily Binks. Now, this was sinister and creepy,
See,
and
that was
we
so
get
scary.
yeah,
Taking
it was
her soul.
kids, yeah, scary for kids, and
No,
definitely
man.
And me.
we had the we had the mummy. We had the comedy in there straight away as well. You can
Mhm.
tell, like, the casting of this is just so brilliant. Like, I don't
Yes.
know how you would get a better combination of people. Like, they're just like, yeah, chuck them together, and magic happens. So
Did.
it's just like, ah, I can't. This makes me so happy every time. So, we are, yeah, they're sucking the lives out of the children of Salem as Thackeray breaks in to save his sister, but can't save
Too
her or
late.
himself. Too late, too late. And he is turned into a cat. Now, this is one of our first groovy talking black cat of the 90s, because we got another one coming later in Sabrina.
Mhm.
And that was good. Anything Bet and Kathy do together is going to be amazing, right? Thank you. I feel like Kathy Najimy was having a great time too. She had Sister Act out as well at the same time, so she was having a
She
big
was.
bump there. I like it.
Had a great 90s.
The townspeople of Salem have, as they are wont to do, pick up their torches and pitchforks and gather. But just look at the background of this set. That's not a cheap set. They've definitely chucked some money out.
Oh, for
But
Disney.
for Disney, you got to remember, this is early. This is 90s Disney as well. The Sanderson sisters declare a
Well, that
curse
is the
upon the
house. They
town.
used that set again.
Yes, they
Mhm.
have. They double up, which is cool. But they and their magical book. Let's talk about the book, because this always creeps me out. Book with the moving eye that is bound in human skin. I think we're meant to imply
Yes, I think so
infer
too.
from that, like it with
Mhm.
the stitching together. It looks like the Necronomicon for kids, just with an eyeball in it.
Which
That'd
was
be the
also scary. The book.
that'd be a nice crossover between Evil Dead and Hocus Pocus. I'm sure that'd be very, very exciting. But the curse, the book, and Winifred and her sisters curse the town that they will return and take the lives of the children of Salem. As the
And how
drums are
sad
kicked
is
out
the
front.
moment when the dad kicks Biggs?
Yeah. And this is where we find out that poor Thackeray Binks, nobody ever knew what happened to him. He just disappeared into the pages of history, never to be seen
Mhm.
again.
The
Where we
cat got his
arrive at.
own.
Cat's
Tears.
got my tongue! Oh, Bet. Why? Why is she so good? She is so amazing in this movie. So we are in the modern day now. This is literally filmed in Salem. I forgot until I watched this movie. This was filmed on location. This movie was filmed on location. Like, you look at
Mhm.
it, I know where that is. I've been there before. I know where that is. I know where that
And
is.
I can't
And
wait to go there.
We're
it
gonna take
definitely,
Rookie.
yes, we are going to be there very, very soon. In 3 weeks, we should be
Mhm.
there. That's amazing. But if you have ever been to Salem, this definitely catches the vibe, because of the
Yes.
beautiful houses, the small streets, that it's kind of rural, coastal, small townish, but there's
Very New Englandy.
something in the
Very New
air. You can't
Englandy.
deny that there is something in the air. It's a very different place, and we catch that straight from the beginning when we find out that Max Dennison has been exiled from California by his parents to live in Salem at Halloween. How horrible for the young man. But let's talk about the house. I mean, if I lived in this house,
That's a
I'd
great
be a
house.
happy kid. That's a great house, and we can find it when we're there.
Yes, it's
So
the real house. It's still in
it's a
Salem.
real house. They are real houses. It's exciting. I just
Mm.
love the little widow's walkie peaky thing up the top there. Look out! Like,
Yes, it's actually
look out over the.
yep, for the whaling wives.
Yeah, look out over the bay for your husband to come home from the sea,
Yeah.
but he never returns. It's very tragic.
Mhm.
Very tragic, but a nice house.
They
So
never
Max
talk
is a
about who
non-believer.
fixes the house. You know,
Mhm. Yeah,
when the
yeah.
Sandersons
Who
blow
does
up
who
Frank's
does the
house.
repairs? I need to know these things. So Max is a non-believer, but he does believe in love, where
I
he gets
know.
a little crush
And
on
Yabos.
Allison and her
Yeah.
yabos, which are she's very. I didn't realize she's very stereotypical '90s pretty girl, isn't she, Vanessa
Yes,
Shaw?
she is.
Dead straight hair, like never. She's like she looks a bit Hilary Swankish in this movie to me. I was like, Hilary
She
Swank, is
does,
that
but
you?
prettier. I'm not a big. I don't consider Hillary to be a beauty.
Now, do we know who was originally meant to be Max, but had to decline?
Was it Matthew Broderick?
No, think
No.
bigger. Think big. Think huge.
Tom Cruise? No, I'm
Big
joking. I'm
star.
sorry.
Big, big star that was a teenager slash young adult in the early 90s.
Big Bear?
Do you give up?
Oh,
I do.
yes.
Leonardo DiCaprio was cast.
Oh,
Really?
that would have been
Leonardo
adorable.
DiCaprio was originally Max, but then had to pass because he had other filming commitments. I think it would have been a very
Oh.
different movie with Leo.
Yeah. I wonder what his feelings are about having passed.
Oh, Jodie's onto me. She knows what's going on. Good girl. I think he did all right. I think he's doing all right. There's a lot of groundswell for Leo's
Well,
earlier work
yes.
going on now. People are finally starting to. People mustn't have seen What's Eating Gilbert Grape. I've seen that movie so many times.
I love
I
that
love
movie
that
so
movie,
much.
I know.
I know.
People like. I thought modern audiences would be a little bit upset with Leonardo DiCaprio because of, his portrayal of someone
With
with special
superpowers.
needs. Yeah. But he's still you can't. He's brilliant. He's
He
so
does
He
it
is
good.
so
brilliant.
respectfully. I think it's perfect. I think it's
Yeah.
amazing acting. But
Yeah.
that's not
And
the
then
movie we're discussing.
no. But this is all tangential. It's all happening around the same time. And, it's
I
all
definitely feel like his body of work is magnificent. But go ahead, sorry.
that's all right. No, everyone caught me mid sip. Oh look. Jodie had a bit of a crush on Leo. I think everyone
Yeah.
did. That floppy boy 90s hair that everyone loves so much. Floppy hair. So we find out that Max not only has a love interest, but he has nemesis in town already,
Nemesis.
which nemesis. And I forget about these guys every time until the movie comes on. And then I go, oh my God, that's right. My name's Jay. This is Ice. I mean, they are so stereotypical 90s
Yes.
bullies.
Oh
I
my
love it.
God.
But hilarious. Like,
Like-
they are so funny. Like, I think they share a brain cell between them. But that's what's meant
Just
to be.
one.
Just the one. Poor Max gets
His
rolled, we would
sneakers
say in Australia.
stolen.
Rolled. He gets
He
rolled.
got rolled for his
Nikes.
shoes.
Gets rolled for his Nikes, and there's no peace at
Steal
home
his
for poor Max
shoes.
either. No peace at home because dun, 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 we have his little sister.
And his parents just don't understand.
Danny, my parents don't understand me, and my little sister is a brat. And Thora Birch, you deserve a medal. I love her in this movie. She is everyone's little sister in this movie, right? She's so cute, but she's such a good actress. And then not long after this, she did Now and Then. Like, she had a great 90s as well. I'm very upset that not upset. I'm a little bit disappointed that the original cast, these guys, aren't in the new movie. Apparently, the story shifted from what it was going to be to what it is now. So they were
Well, no,
originally
it's
intended.
inclusive. It's get a few
Yeah.
people of color.
They were ready. They were going to bring them back, but we'll talk about it a little bit later. I think that there might be plans to follow up on Hocus Pocus 2 quite quickly, from what I've been hearing, while we still have the cast around. But yeah, Danny is the quintessential little sister who has to be taken trick-or-treating because, she needs a chaperone because it's a full moon and the werewolves are out. They will get her. Max is not feeling it because he's also those awkward teenage years where, he can't be seen as uncool. But as they trick or treat around town, they run into the bullies again. But they also run into Allison at her parents' Halloween party. She's I don't know how they got that performance out of little Thora, but she's just like, oh, Allison. It's like, oh, okay, calm down, girl.
Allison.
And Allison reveals to Danny that her mother worked or used to work at the Witch Museum, which is the Sandersons' former home.
Mm-hmm.
Max, the non-believer, convinces Allison and Danny to break in to the house and makes the mortal mistake of lighting the black flame candle because he is the virgin, as foretold in the book. A virgin lights black flame candle. And then we get all kinds of hullabaloo and mischief breaking out as the Sanderson sisters are reborn. Back ready to go. And this is where it gets funny real quick. Like my favorite parts of this movie are the time anachronism stuff that they do. Like Sarah Jessica Parker going, and if you weren't paying attention at the beginning, you're like, oh, okay. She finds her rat's tail that she leaves there at the beginning of the movie. You're like, oh, okay, cool. She 300 years later, she's like, oh, my lucky rat's tail. even Mary's like, I told you I left this cauldron on. Didn't I tell you I left this cauldron on? It's like, oh, they picked up where they left her. So they discover the trio eventually of children because Mary has the unique power of smelling out children. But they are foiled already. They're kind of put aback, especially by Max the Great and his flame. He summons flame from his hand and summons the burning rain of death.
That's right.
The burning rain of death. It's a burning rain of death. I love the reaction from the three of them are so quality. It's a burning rain of death. And they're running around like idiots. And the more I kind of tried to pay attention to the background a lot more. And I'm not a Sarah Jessica Parker fan by any stretch of the means, but God, she does a lot with not a lot. She's always doing something. She's a good background girl. Like for those of us that have been supporting cast,
a lot of Broadway credits.
Yeah.
She grew
for
up
those of us that have been on stage supporting cast, and you're like, I don't have a lot to do. I've got to create stuff to do in the background. She gets the assignment. She is so fun. Like some of the stuff she does, it can't have been scripted. It has to. It feels like, especially as as actors and people that have performed, some of that feels like improv that has made its way into the script, and it's like, I love it. The humor, the stupidity they put into the characters is what makes it. Yeah, exactly. And it's what makes the movie. This is what makes the movie great as well, is that it walks that line of it's funny for kids, and it's funny for adults too. There are lines and situations in this movie where you're like, hey, I didn't get that the first time. That makes a movie quality when you can go back and watch it again and get something different from it. And you're like, oh, I see you now. So they figure out the burning red of death. 'Tis but water. as they go, as they go, as they go to chase the kids that got away, only to find a river has sprung up in front of their house.
Yes.
This is my other bit.
Yes.
And the look between Mary and Winifred, where they just chuck her in. She's like, "My girl, Sarah's gone. She's firm as stone, firm as stone." And again, the lifting of the dress as they hunt out. That pause as the fire engines come, they have the reaction time to go and bugger off. It just every time gets me. It's just those little pauses where you go, you can see the characters having a thought, and they go, "Oh God!" But to scream anytime that they scream and run is my favorite part of this movie, and luckily it happens about 17 times, so it's good. This is where we get our revelation, or the kids get their revelation that the cat that they encountered is one reincarnated Thackeray Binks. Well, not reincarnated, cursed. Sorry,
I was like, he's not
Cursed, 'cause he never
reincarnated.
died.
Cursed. He never died. He is but a cat, a sassy cat at that. And this is the movie that made. This is one of the movies that made everyone want a black cat, right? They're like, I need that, just in case he starts talking like any kind of normal black cat does, I guess. Right? No.
My black cat doesn't talk unless I'm on drugs. Just saying.
I love a black cat. So the witches eventually track them down to the hallowed ground of Salem Cemetery, where they cannot enter, for they are witches. They can't get to them, but somebody else can.
This is one of my favorite characters.
Winifred summons her ex-lover, Billy Butcherson, who had his mouth sewn shut so he couldn't tell her secrets. Now, and this is something that you don't necessarily get on the first time. I think Sarah might have had a bit of a fling with Billy as well, from what we gather.
They say that at some point?
Yeah.
They say it in the movie, don't they?
Yeah.
But you don't necessarily catch it the first run through. You're like, and then the little Sarah Jessica Parker is just ready to go this whole movie. She's like, I'm gonna shag everyone.
She's run amok.
It is amok. Literally. So yes, Billy Butcher said the zombie of the piece is after the kids with his sewn shut mouth. Ooh. So Mary can no longer smell the children because they are, covered and gone underground, as you do. As you do. What was the 90s and kids spending time in sewers? We loved it. We wanted turtles, we wanted zombies, we wanted talking cats. Everything existed in the sewers back in the day.
Pirate treasure.
So exactly, yeah, right. I forgot about that.
What is it? Line of Winifred's sisters. Halloween has become a night of frolic.
I can't remember that exact line. But so that's the thing about this movie as well. It is so quotable. It is memeable before it was memes. Like another glorious morning makes me sick. See that so many times. Yes, you do. So we get the revelation that the spell that Winifred casts brings them only back for Halloween, unless they can suck the life out of at least one child before sunrise. I wonder who they're after. I think that's the fatal flaw in the Sanderson Sisters. They take everything.
That is the fatal flaw.
The fatal flaw. But this is and I don't know that it is anyone else's favorite part, but they get summoned to the school.
When they get put in the kiln.
They get put in the kiln with the how to speak French. It's French, isn't it? I think it is.
Yeah, it's French.
How to speak French on tape, and she's like, "Bonjour." They don't get the tape. And she's like,
One of my favorites is Kathy Najimy's moment when she goes, "I smell baked crud. It's a bottom feeder. You put butter and breadcrumbs on
and then they get killed. They get burnt again. Oh, well, they were burnt. They were hung the first time. They get burnt, and their energy disperses through Salem. And the kids think that they've won. They think it's easy enough to, you know. But they haven't. They haven't.
Yeah, that part's never really explained how they come back down the chimney and whoosh.
I think it's because that might be part of the spell. Is that they for that one night they are untouchable until sunrise. I love it. They come back smoking, and Bet can speak French. I want my book. I want my book. She sounds a bit Count Dracula-ish. It makes me happy. But another favorite part is, as I said, seeing these witches have to deal with the modern world. Now, we saw them fly. We fly. Of course, Winifred has the broom. Sarah has the vacuum cleaner. Oh, no, she has the mop, doesn't she? And Mary has... Winnie! She's holding... Winnie! Now, have you guys seen the poster for the new one?
She's got two rhombus.
Mary cops out again. So Winnie's got the broom. Sarah's got like a very fancy vacuum cleaner, and Mary's on those two Roombas flying through the sky. As soon as I saw that, I knew that they were right. I knew that they were going to get this right. I was like, that's funny, and it's just a still image. How is that even? But another really funny part that we skipped over is them dealing with the bus.
Oh, yeah. That would take me in the morning.
Bubble, I'm in trouble.
That would take me in the morning.
Yeah. I desire children. Hey, it may take me a couple of times, but you know what? This is like, that's an adult line where you're like, that's grouse. Saying Jodie's with us. She agrees about the rumors.
Yeah.
So good. I hope it happens. It's got to happen in the movie. But another one for adults, funny part that happens is when these two get on screen.
Oh my God.
Penny and Gary Marshall. They are like quintessential. I just remember them from so many movies growing up.
What pudding face.
Yeah. Master. He has a little woman.
Talk to Master like that.
He has a little woman. And this is a bless you. Screaming. This is when the witches get clued in. They start to get clued in that Halloween has changed, and it is, 'tis a time for children, not for witches.
It's fun and frolic.
It just makes me so happy. Penny Marshall's great. Oh no, you get out of here. It's like, go Penny.
What's the dog's name? I just forgot. I was gonna call him Max.
Oh yeah, the little dog with demon wings.
Yeah,
it's great.
Who looks a little like the flying monkeys in the end Wizard.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I love the flying monkeys vibe when he's barking at them.
Like, again, screaming and running. That's the best. The best thing, and there better be so much more screaming and running coming for this new one. Just imagine, they've been gone
it's
for
a man
a
named
lot
Clark's finger.
Finger of a man named Clark. Now, we cannot go past, if we're talking about memorable moments in this film, we cannot go past the musical number.
That was the great
Damn.
moment.
Damn. Now, did you know? Musical number was not originally scripted.
No, I
You
didn't
get
know
Bette
that.
Midler in a movie and you don't put a musical number in it? I mean, come on. But
Thank you,
when
Max,
you
for
think
that
about this
marvelous
movie,
introduction.
that marvelous introduction. I put a spell on you, and now I don't mind. It's the first thing I think of when I think of this movie, is that song. It is so synonymous with it. I go, yes. That, like, this movie influenced my childhood so much that a couple of years ago for our dance concert, I can't even remember what it was. We did like must have been a scary theme, and I did a Hocus Pocus themed dance with my kids. It was so much fun. We did Come Little Children into
Yes.
yeah, it was very cute. It was very, although it was good. It made my heart proud. But Mum and Dad, I mean, come on, for supporting players, how funny are these
I
two?
know.
They love
I
it.
love the scene where she turns around and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Go for it, Vera. I'm
She-
blowing it up. Hi, honey.
Hi.
Mum, who do you meant to be? Well, Madonna.
Madonna, of course.
I mean, isn't it obvious? Isn't it obvious? And Dad, Jula.
Yeah.
I love that Dad's in full Dracula outfit, but in his pajamas underneath.
I didn't even
It's like,
notice that.
that is such a dad
I've seen that a
thing to
million
do.
times and didn't even notice that.
Yeah, look. Unless it's a very ugly shirt. Look.
I think it's an
They're
ugly
pajamas.
shirt.
No, I think they're pajamas because the pants are the same.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Because he's
They-
only out at night, right? That's when you wear your
Because he's only out at night, and he's a dad vampire. He's sleepy. He's sleepy. So this is how the witches take care of the parents in Salem. We always criticize, especially in our horror movie show, Uncensored Horror, we always criticize, where are the damn parents in these shows? Where are the damn parents? The damn parents are busy dancing till they die because they've had a spell put on them. Very convenient way. And like someone has had a thought and went, why aren't their parents around? Oh, okay. We'll put a musical number in here that explains it. So we not only get Bette singing, but we also get, a plot hole filled in. But brilliant stuff. I just love those parents. They are great. And we also get poor Jay and Ice running across the sisters. They call them chicks. I love Winnie. Winnie just is like not having it. She's like, you know what? You want to call me a chick? In the cage you go. Without the book, they are trying to remember the spell. A dead man's chunks. What's a dead? What are what's a dead man? A dead man's nose. His elbows. His thumbs. His chunks. Dead man's chunks. It's great. Again, I'm gonna call them chunks from now on.
I think I'll be walking around Disneyland. I'll be like, my chunks are killing me.
But the Dennisons think they are safe. They are home. They are happy. Max is getting his little snuggle in with Allison, and little Thackeray's settled down with Danny until they try and do, I guess, the right thing and open the book.
Well, they'd never know about the salt if they didn't open the book.
Summoning the sisters. After Winnie has said her, she's done her big Sunset Boulevard goodbye cruel world moment. Goodbye cruel world. Oh. Is it?
Cruel than death.
Bye bye world. She's so good. I just love it.
Take me to
So-
the window.
Take me to the window, Mary. So dramatic. Bette Midler for I think we can get her a retroactive Oscar for this for sure.
Right.
She's so good. They see the beacon of light that is placed out, and they
Yeah.
go collect what is theirs. Lucky Allison knows a little bit about witchcraft and spreads her salt circle so she cannot be.
Because she read it in the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they grab Danny and decide that she is their sacrifice. It is happening. But when you've got one, why not get them all? And we
Then
get,
we have-
again, iconic moment. Sarah singing and
Yes.
flying across the skies of Salem. And again, you got to think, in the 90s, the flying stuff was really quite impressive. Like,
Right.
for them to get up on harnesses back in the day, that wasn't a thing. And it doesn't look hokey. It still
No,
is
still,
is
it
good.
works.
So we
Mhm.
have siren song the entire childhood population of Salem to advance upon the Sanderson sisters' house. Now the heroes managed to rescue again Danny. They've covered some miles in this show. Like they are all over town. They are up,
Yep.
down, in, out, all about. And they get the book.
You can't believe they don't run out of nighttime.
I know, right? Well, this is the thing. It happens. They are desperately running out of nighttime, and the potion gets spilt again. This is a fatal flaw of Winifred Sanderson. Is she takes things personally. She had possibly hundreds of kids just outside of the house,
Yeah.
but she had to have Danny because
Yeah.
she called her
Ugly.
ugly.
Oh,
She doesn't even know me. She doesn't even know me. She always wanted a child. Now I think I'll have one. On toast. In classic Bette Midler style. So they go a hunting again. A hunting they will go for young Danny. Back to the graveyard. And this is where we get the revelation. It came quite late. Billy ain't a bad guy.
Nope.
Billy's a good
He
guy.
kinda hates
Now,
women.
do you know that he actually held those moths in his mouth?
Yes. Isn't that
Oh.
amazing?
The moths
He had
and dust
big
were
live
actually
moths
in his mouth.
because it wouldn't
They
work
did a
anywhere
little-
else.
A little compartment thing they put in his mouth so they wouldn't get wet.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd have gagged.
I know, right? I don't. Yeah, but
Talk
We'll
about
find
a
out later.
commitment to part.
committed acting exactly.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that Billy Butcherson is
Sure,
returning.
you could put that little compartment of live moths in my mouth.
Yeah,
I
right.
will breathe exclusively through my nose.
I know you'd hope you didn't have a cold that day.
Yeah.
Billy Butcherson will return, so we get more. We get more Billy
I
action.
did see that in the trailer. But I'm a
So
good zombie.
Yes. So we have not a lot of time left because I'm trying to think exactly where we are. Literally, the
days.
sun is rising. The sun is
Yes.
rising as this
Yeah.
battle happens. They try and grab everyone and all that kind of stuff. But as Winifred gets the upper hand again and has Danny, not Danny, yes, no, Danny, yes, Danny, baby, little Danny, yes, has Danny, Max makes the ultimate big brother sacrifice and drinks the potion
Yeah.
so he can save his
It's
sister.
touching.
It is touching, but all well timed as well. Because as this happens, the sun rises over Salem.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, Winifred, in her greed and in her misguided need for revenge, touches ground on the hallowed
Yep.
ground of the cemetery and becomes a statue. As her sisters dramatically explode in midair.
Winnie!
Winnie! Goodbye. Oh, bye-bye. And then Winifred's statue explodes epically. So with the breaking of the curse, everything can return to normal. Billy gets to go back to sleep. I love you just like falling backwards into his
Yes.
grave. He's like, good night, Billy. And then we get, and this is sad. It is sad, but it's also it's got that Disney moment where like we lose a favorite character, but the favorite character gets a kind of ending. We find out that Binks's time as a cat is over because he has broken the spell that he set that
And he's
he
free.
set out to.
Yeah.
And we hear and see little Emily back. And Thora Birch acts her little heart out here.
I know.
Those tears, she's crying like you're heartbroken for the little thing, but she plays it well, and he does the Casper moment. I'll always be with you. And oh, as he and his sister hold hands, walk out of the walk out of the cemetery, and Emily's like, "Why does it take me so long? I had to wait 300 years for a virgin to light a candle." What a great ending to a movie.
Yeah.
And that was it. That is the end of Hocus Pocus, and great film to the end. Now, when this was initially released, it was considered a flop. It was
it
rated.
didn't sell out theaters too much. It became much more popular post theater run.
It had a budget of $28 million. It did make $45.4 million. So nothing to sniff at, but I think, especially at that time, Disney's live action offerings weren't that regular, and they weren't event films back in the day. But this movie is a monster now. You can't find someone who, well, it's very rare to find someone who has not seen this, especially if you are elder millennial. I'll say if you grew up in the late, if you were 80s/90s. Like everyone I know loves this movie, and for the longest time, we have waited and waited and waited for any snifter of a sequel. And who knew it would take 29 years for it to happen? But this Friday, worldwide, kids, we have the premiere on Disney Plus of Hocus 2, with the return of the original Sanderson sisters, Bette Midler, Kathy Jimmy, Sarah Jessica Parker, and of course, down the bottom there, you can see Billy Butcherson returning as well. So we have half of our original cast returning, which is okay because they're telling a new story. I had this argument with someone the other night, like, well, they can't tell that story. I'm like, the Thackeray Big story, like, well, they're not trying to.
Yeah, it's completely rewritten.
They're like, how can the witches come back? Like, they're witches. Like, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I'm sure there's more than one way to resurrect a witch, and someone else just finds the way. As Jodie says, movie night planned. I think there's going to be a lot of epic movie nights planned around sitting around and watching this one. I'm definitely going to do it. As soon as it's available, it is going on in my house, and I am watching it. As I said, there's big expectations, so we'll have to see. What do you guys think? Do you think they're gonna be able to do it, or?
I really hope so. I really, really hope so. I'm so excited.
It is Disney.
I think they've waited this long, and the script that they have is Ace is going to watch it too. Good boy, Ace.
Yay.
Good. They've waited this long. The script has changed. They've got I think for the three of them to agree to do it, it has to be the right script anyway. For a little while there was going to be a remake. They weren't going to do a sequel. There was a remake with a different cast of very good modern comedy actresses. But we have to have the originals, at least once more. If they're gonna and as I said, there's already expectation that this might lead to something else again, if it's as popular as they're hoping. I think it will be. I hope it is, and I would love to see maybe one more movie with the original Sanderson sisters.
Disney is in the business of making magic.
Especially with Disney Plus, there is so much more avenue to create these days. A lot of people are very critical of Disney Plus and what it's doing to major franchises, but it does allow different stories to be told and different characters that may not be blockbuster characters to have a presence and their audience to see them on screen, which is amazing. But I don't think we will have the problem of this one. Jody, very good point. I might have to change the Disney password so the kids don't watch it while I'm at work. Yeah, they have to wait. I agree. They have to wait. So, my lovely guests, Brooke, will go with you first. Out of 5 brooms, how many brooms are you going to give Hocus Pocus?
Always will be 5. I love this movie. I love it so much. They could not have done anything better at all.
Right? I love it.
I love it.
Miss Vera, what about you? How many brooms are we going to give it? 5? That's a solid 5 for me as well.
That's a solid 5.
And as I can keep going back to this, but you saw this as a young adult. Do you know what I mean? Like it means that it's still translated. Like we have the childhood goggles on, so it's close to our heart. But you saw it when you didn't need to see it. You know what I mean? It wasn't necessary viewing, and it still managed to capture you.
It's a multi-generational film.
And more so because now the kids that grew up with it are showing it to their kids and they're getting obsessed with it.
Love it.
And now that there's going to be a sequel, there's going to be another generation of kids that grow up with it as well. So I'm going to.
My coworker told me the other day he never saw it, and I clutched the pearls. I was like,
clutch those pearls! How dare you, sir? How dare you? But now
I see you in a different light now, Mike.
Well, this is the thing. I said the same thing to my friend who grew up at the same. Like we are literally a week apart in birthdays, or 10 days. Had never seen Mighty Ducks.
What?
What? You never seen Mighty Ducks?
Getting a sequel.
Well, the TV series is going into second season, which is cool. So we're going to see more of the original team as well in that. So if you're a Disney kid, there's some great stuff on the horizon, especially if you are fans of books. Did you guys see one of the latest announcements on what property Disney now owns the rights to?
Oh no, what?
The Never-Ending Story.
I saw that.
So there is a new Never-Ending Story coming. I believe 2024. They've got a date for it at the moment. So
But Vera does not look convinced.
If you want trauma, watch Never-Ending Story. I will never get over that poor bloody horse. But we hope that you enjoy Hocus Pocus too. Let us know your feelings on it because we're going to watch it and we'll do a review maybe in October when we're a bit more in the Halloween mind. But thank you for joining me today, lovely Brooke and the vivacious Vera. It has been a pleasure to talk about one of my favorite movies. And we will see all of you again soon. Make sure you clean up your seat and don't forget your phone and your wallet as you leave the cinema. Thanks, guys. We'll see you again soon on Uncensored Radio. Bye.